This is not your average connoisseur's top 10 for spring. This is just probably not your average reviewer or your probably average person's top 10 for spring. But these are the top 10 that I will be wearing this spring and ones that I really enjoy. Stay tuned. How's it going, fragrance friends? My name is Joshua, and this is our channel, ScentSense. To all my fantastic subscribers and friends who continue to watch my videos painstakingly, enjoying every minute of it, I know you do. You do. Thank you. And to all you new people who are checking out the channel, maybe for the very first time or second or third time and you're still kind of, I don't know. I promise you I won't say a lot of really jacked up stuff that's gonna alienate you and or everyone else you know. So you know what? This is a safe place. This is a cool place. This is a place where we kick back and relax and just talk about fragrances and enjoy them. Jumping right into it at number 10 is a fragrance that I learned about from my guy over at the channel Big Beard Business. The fragrance we're talking about is Burberry Touch for men. Burberry Touch is a fresh fragrance that's really strong in the presence of white musk, pepper, and violet leaf. If you're into the note of violet leaf and you're into fragrances that are slightly powdery and just really easy to wear, relaxing, not all about letting everyone know you smell good, but smelling good for yourself. Something you're gonna wear for you and is not a crowd pleaser, just something that just makes you smell clean. You should definitely check out Burberry Touch. So at number 10, Burberry Touch for men. At number 9 is a fragrance from a house that makes interpretations of designers and or niche. So at the end of the day, it's kind of the same thing. The fragrance we're talking about is White Zest, and the house, Alexandria Fragrances. White Zest is aptly named. This is a fragrance that's very zesty. It's got a lemon presence. It's Alexandria Fragrances' take on Allure Homme Edition Blanche, which everyone knows is called the lemon meringue pie of the fragrance world. This is gonna be one that's gonna be very easy to wear, and whenever people are gonna smell you, they might be like, man, what is that? I smell something in the room. Something smells fantastic. And no one's gonna know it's you until you probably go, yeah, bro, that's me. I know. I smell good. Coming in at number 9, White Zest by Alexandria Fragrances. Coming in at number 8 is a fragrance from a house that's often overlooked, a fragrance that is definitely overlooked. The fragrance we're talking about is Lacoste's Pour Homme. Lacoste Pour Homme is a plum-based vanilla fragrance that has this very easy, approachable demeanor. There's also a rum note that kind of sits in the back. The only other notes that kind of present themselves are some fruity notes, which are bergamot, grapefruit, and apple. If you want something that's different, if you want something that's cheap, if you want something that's easily accessible, but probably will keep you smelling great and keep you smelling different than everybody else in the room, coming in at number 8, Lacoste's Pour Homme. At number 7 is a fragrance that I feel that I kind of put on the map. It's mainly because of that main note in it, that fragrance note that I can't get enough of. That's fig. And the fragrance we're gonna talk about for a brief moment is Vintage Green by Banana Republic. This fragrance will always hold the sentimental piece of my heart, especially when it comes to this channel, because this fragrance was the very first fragrance that I ever reviewed. Now, I'm gonna have to re-review this fragrance now that I'm a little more established, because the very first fragrance review that I ever did on this channel is unwatchable. It's really bad, and I'm sure there's some people out there who don't really care for my type of fragrance reviews, so I'm probably still unwatchable, but nevertheless, at the end of the day, if you're watching this and you enjoy me, I'll probably be talking about this one very soon. When it comes to cheapies and it comes to fragrances that are readily accessible, but also lend great quality in my opinion, Banana Republic does a very good job. The Icon Collection, which is this bad boy right here, looks the part of a fancy fragrance. It smells the part of a fancy fragrance. And when it comes to the fig note, it's very clean. Vintage Green will definitely be one that I wear, and it's definitely one you should check out. Coming in at number 7, Banana Republic's Vintage Green. It's time to set sail when it comes to number 6. It's a fragrance that you often will see on lists abroad. It's a fragrance that even the niche connoisseur and the snobby guy alike tend to like. The fragrance we're talking about, Nautica Voyage. Nautica Voyage is probably the best, easiest to wear cheapie on the market. often can be had for less than $20. This is a safe, clean, ocean-like, crisp, inviting fragrance. This is a fragrance that you can easily just spray on and not have to worry about offending anybody. This is something that is always going to be appreciated, and this is going to be something that you can wear that is just going to work, and especially as it starts to warm up. So later on in spring, right before summer starts, this one will be an easy wear. And if you're looking for something because you're newer to fragrances, or you're looking for something to just get to add to your fragrance collection that's starting to grow, easy one if you don't have it, that's Nautica's Voyage. Coming in at number 5 is a fragrance that when it first came out was super duper hyped, so I went ahead and bought a bottle. Do I think it's as great as everyone made it out to be? No. Is it bad? Not at all. It's something that I enjoy wearing from time to time, and it's definitely something I'm going to try to focus on wearing more and more in spring and see if I maybe missed the mark on being a little too judgmental. Coming in at number 5 is John Varvatos Artisan Pure. Artisan Pure is a fresh, slightly fruity, herbal fragrance that has a very, very clean, relaxing vibe. If you notice the trend of these fragrances, a lot of them are very clean, very easy to wear, because when it comes to spring, you don't want to be too boisterous when it comes to wearing stuff that still leaks over from winter, but you also don't want to wear stuff that comes with summer that doesn't have as much backbone. These have a little bit more to them, and this is one that will definitely work in the cooler spring months. Go ahead and check out John Varvatos' Artisan Pure. Coming in at number 4 is an OG fragrance from an OG flanker line that tends to put out a crap ton of flankers. The flanker of this fragrance kind of passed it up in La Nuit. I'm sure you already figured it out. It's a J. Copeland special. Coming in at number 4 is L'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. Yves Saint Laurent's L'Homme is famous for that great, super clean, super relaxing, super effervescent ginger note. This is a classy fragrance. This is going to be a much lighter version of La Nuit de l'Homme. This is going to be the one you're going to wear during the day. La Nuit de l'Homme is something you'd wear at night, hence the name, Night of the Man or Man of the Night, whatever La Nuit de l'Homme means in Francais. I actually got this one after I got La Nuit de l'Homme because this was released a lot earlier than my fascination and really diving deep into fragrances began. So coming in at number 4, something that I really want to wear a lot when it comes to the spring months, L'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. Coming in at number 3 is a fragrance that's very popular. It's loved by many fragrance reviewers. It's often viewed as a very classy, very sophisticated fragrance. This is something that I'm going to wear when I have an important meeting at work, or when I want to maybe go take my wife out on a dinner, or maybe I might have to dress up for something. The fragrance we're talking about at number 3 is Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver. I'm sure the name itself lends to the characteristic of what this fragrance is all about. This is vetiver. This is a classy gentleman's fragrance. This is something that can be worn and pulled off by a younger man in his mid to early 30s, but this is not something for a little boy. This is also not something for a teenager who's looking for a fragrance. So if you're a teenage guy somewhere between 15 and 25 and you're going over to like maybe the mall or somewhere to buy a fragrance and somebody tries to con you into buying this, just don't do it. It's not gonna work for you. It's not gonna work for the vibe that you're trying to put off. Now, with that being said, if you really enjoy it and you think it smells good and you wanna wear it for you, then by all means wear this. But if you're trying to pick up some chick who's gonna wanna hang out with you that you met out on Snapchat or Facebook and they wanna Netflix and chill, this is not what you should be wearing. Coming in at number 3, a fragrance that I'll be wearing for special occasions when it comes to designers, Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver. At number 2 is a fragrance that is often overlooked when it comes to this line of fragrances, the Dior Homme line. This is the better, more smooth, longer lasting, just better version of what Prada L'Homme is supposed to be, because this one came out first. At number 2, Dior Homme's O. Dior Homme's O is probably the only iris-based fragrance that I own. If not the only one that I own, it's definitely the only one that I really like. This is just super easy to wear. You cannot overspray this. You cannot choke someone out with this. You cannot offend anybody with this. Most people will think you just have some really expensive laundry detergent. This is often overlooked, as I stated before, because people will go for Dior Homme, Dior Homme Parfum, Dior Homme Intense, and people will definitely go for Prada L'Homme because it was kind of hyped a little bit. If you're looking for the one that came out first and you're looking at the one that was probably emulated, go ahead and check out this one that came out at number 2 for me. That's Dior Homme's O. Last but not least is a fragrance that I'm sure none of you will have guessed. Nobody's gonna get this one right, and I promise you, if you got this one right, kudos, because I'm sure you haven't, but alas, somebody might. This is a orange, zesty, clean fragrance that I wore in high school. It definitely got me compliments. This is one of my OG fragrances that I always go to. People always love it, and no one knows what it is when I'm wearing it. At number 1, Clinique Happy for Men. Now that you're probably over the sudden shock or confusion, this is probably one of the most underrated fragrances and least talked about fragrances. One of the hiccups when it comes to this fragrance and makes people overlook it and kind of makes people kind of push it to the side is that this one has a longevity problem. But buying this one from any online retailer or discounter, you're gonna get this for somewhere around 30 bucks, and I think it's worth every penny. It's something that you can just spray and spray and spray and spray, and it's not gonna be overbearing. It's not gonna be off-putting, and it's just always gonna be very, very inviting. This is my favorite orange-based fragrance, and I think oranges, juicy oranges, are a fantastic smell, and I think it reminds me of spring, some good, fresh, squeezed orange juice. This is something that will definitely get you in a position where you feel relaxed. It's something that will definitely be inviting for people, and no one's gonna think you smell bad. Coming in at number 1 is a fragrance that I wore nearly 20 years ago, something that I used to rock in high school and I still rock today. I'm old. Shut up. My number 1 for spring in the designer realm this year, Clinique Happy for Men. Alright guys, if you didn't catch on to the theme of my spring list, fresh, clean, easy to wear, inviting. Some people might say a lot of these fragrances seem redundant, but if you noticed, each one has a different main note and a different way of approaching the same result. Whether it's plum, orange, vetiver, fig, each one of these notes have a very calming, relaxing, and inviting nature. So if you haven't smelled all of these, go ahead and try them out. And if you have, leave some comments in the section below and let me know what you think about these. And if there's a few that I missed that you think should have made the list. As always, bing! Ring that notification bell. That way when my videos come out, you'll actually be notified. And as I always say, I'll smell you later. Peace!